Yes.
Okay. Woo! So I'm Sonia with Simply Events, and Paige and I met probably a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Paige used to be a nurse.
Yep.
And now every time I saw Paige, the reason we met is because she always had these fun animals every time I'd see her. And then she had a pig one day, and I was sold on Paige and her whole family. And I was like, what do you do? And she basically rescues animals. And so with Simply Support Local added on to Simply Events and promotions, something that we're going to do is put you in touch with local charities who need your support, causes that need your support. She's working in the process of getting, all of her causes into a charity, but currently is just doing all of this. And of course, we want you guys to be aware of this amazing person that's in our community so she can be in your community. So Paige, tell us about yourself.
Well, thank you. My name is Paige, and yes, I work.
Ever we have a pig in the office who is not pleased.
I rescue animals basically, and I have a background in human medicine. I was a people nurse, so what I focus mostly on is special needs animals. And the piglet that I brought today is not special needs. She's my only one that's not. But I do typically take in mostly like spinal injuries, neurological issues, things like that. And I worked as a nurse for about 12 years, and I just really wanted to shift my focus to rescue. So I kind of rearranged my life so that I could do that. And here we are with a pig.
And now what's the name that you rescue the animals under and hopes to be the charity and
It's the Isle of Misfits. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And I'm in the process of getting my 501c3 approval for that so that it'll be a fully tax-deductible organization. Right now, I'm really just a crazy lady taking in animals. Until that comes through, that's really all I am, but I love it. We recently moved out to a 5-acre farm. I used to live in St. Pete, and I was very limited in the amount of animals and the types of animals I could take in. And so we decided it was time to move to a farm. And now we're kind of adding on to a crew.
But every time I see her, even though her hair may be messed up, and she's like, don't hug me, I'm sweaty, she's got this huge smile on her face. So her cause is definitely helping her, but also it's helping so many animals. I can testify to that because I have seen them over this period of time. The dogs that are in the little wheelchairs, it's because they're paralyzed and they need a full-time mommy to take care of them. Which is
happy to do it.
A lot of fun. So we had a little conversation, now that you know who Paige is and everything, and we keep looking down because there's a piggy.
Yeah. There's a piglet eating sweets.
Let's let him see just for a second. We're going to move our camera. Hopefully it doesn't fall out. If it does, we're just going to keep on rolling.
That's Large Marge, also known as Maggie.
So Paige was just dropped off Maggie. This poor pig had 3 different homes in one day or something ridiculous, and then just got dropped off to Paige like a drug deal in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it really was.
And now she's thriving. The second time I've met Maggie, so she's super cute.
She's a good girl.
So we had a conversation based on one of her videos that Paige had done on TikTok, so we're here to educate you guys a little bit as well. I guess I should have said that in the beginning. About TikTok. And she's in her treat bag.
She's
she's
like,
hiding.
Put that back here. Nothing to see here.
Just keep it rolling.
Stay in the forehead.
We got Kylie and Bailey are in the background, and they have some questions geared up about TikTok because we just started ours. It's at Simply Events FL. Follow us, please. We're on there. We're going to make ourselves ridiculous for you guys and your enjoyment. So we would appreciate a couple heart likes. So tell us, you guys, questions. Let's pepper them in. First off, what is the first thing you learned with TikTok that was most important?
That there is a huge audience there. I don't know the statistics, but I'm pretty sure that it's more than Facebook and Instagram combined. There's something like 800. Yeah, there's like 800 million users on there, and so the odds of getting your content in front of a ton of eyes is a lot higher on TikTok than it is on any other social media platform I've used. And I wasn't really ready for that. I mean, I was excited about it, but it kind of blew me away. But it's been really, really good for getting the word out to network animals, and I have another small business, so it's been really a good tool to use for that purpose.
Right. Okay. And Kylie, what you got? After checking everything out, my phone's going crazy. Let me turn it off. Rude.
Well, that ties into one of our biggest questions was, do you try to target a specific audience? Like, you know, it's huge. Do you try to like look for people, like certain people to be watching your stuff?
TikTok does have a feature. I don't know if you can only access it once you're past 1,000 followers. I'm not sure, but there's it's like a business feature similar to what you have on Instagram, where you have a business account, and it'll show you your analytics. So it'll show you kind of your demographic and who's watching your videos, how long they stay on your video, their age group, stuff like that. And for me, it tends to be definitely more females than males. I'm not sure why, but it is. And it tends to be usually about in the age rate. Well, on Instagram, it was more age ranges of like 20 to 40. That was kind of like my demographic. On TikTok, the users are a lot younger, and that was another thing that shocked me about it. So I picked up a much younger crowd because everybody loves animals. When you take videos of animals and put it to funny music, it tends to kind of attract an audience, apparently.
That's true. Drew said that to me. Remember that she has an animal charity, so her followers can be easier to gain. Which is another reason why y'all need to do that on the old TikTok for Simply Events FL, okay?
I'm so sorry.
She likes rubbing her nose on her faux brick
wall.
wall. I like touching it too.
Come here, come on up here. There we go. She's so cute.
So see?
She's like a little toddler.
She is. Having a
She
pig
was
is
over
like
here
a
getting
perpetual
a
toddler.
lot of love, and then all of a sudden I stopped petting her, and
Yeah.
she just went to the
I
wall.
was like, oh, you're not going to pet me. I'm going
Fine,
to destroy
I'm gonna
everything you
squeak
love.
my nose on the wall. So what else do you? So hashtags. I heard you say earlier.
Yeah, hashtags, you can use hashtags on TikTok. I feel like the hashtag feature is a lot more effective on Instagram. What I found on TikTok is that for me, just personally, it's not been so much about the hashtags I've used, so much as how often my video is shared and how many views it tends to get like in the first hour. I think that really, from my understanding, again, I don't work for TikTok, so but from my understanding is when you put a piece of content out onto TikTok, they put it out to what they call like a small batch audience first, and then they kind of see how it performs. If it performs pretty well within like the first hour, then they'll start to put it out to a larger batch, and it kind of goes from there, and that's how they determine what videos go viral. So yeah, I found that audience retention, like how long they're staying on your video, tends to really determine what goes viral and what doesn't. It has in my case.
If they watch it all the way through,
Yeah.
or it's just
Especially if
the
they
first
rewatch
2
it. If they watch it a couple times.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'd like to say that shorter videos have a bigger chance of going viral because people will finish them, but I had a full 1 minute video that got over 500,000 views. So that theory kind of went
Over
up
a
in the
half
middle.
views, you guys.
Casually.
But I think it was because it was engaging enough that people were like waiting to see the pig. I mean, I just posted it, I wasn't really thinking, but looking back on it, I think people stayed and watched the video because they wanted to like see the pig reveal.
Right.
That video was the one that I
Because
posted.
you
the
had
day
a
I
new
got
family
her.
member,
Yeah.
and it was you
Yeah.
made a campaign out of it. You know, you thought about your launch, and so you're going to see more of that. I looked at your page. So we had struggles with our video yesterday. Any advice on the video editing and everything? I know Maggie's gone, you guys. She's now working in the office.
If
And
you
you
see
get
her
a
jump up and
call.
run off screen, I'm just keeping her from destroying the office.
And you get a call, and it's like, Stork, it's Maggie. She's calling. Wants you to participate in our events.
She did it on cue.
So getting it going, we were using this song yesterday, and it was like 15 seconds. So we're like, okay, all 7 of you need to get your dance moves in 15 seconds and move off the screen.
It's harder than you think.
That's a real thing. We have to be mindful of that. Is there a way around that stuff?
I mean, it really, it's kind of arbitrary to me, like what tends to go viral. But for me, yeah, anything that's going to keep your audience engaged. I feel like we're kind of almost like goldfish now with the fact that our attention span is this big. So you kind of have to, on TikTok, you have a limited amount of time, and you have to really get to the point kind of quick. Otherwise, people are just going to keep scrolling. So I think that, I mean, whether your video is short or long, as long as the very beginning of that video is enough to keep people engaged and don't want to go, I want to see where this is going, then that'll add to your watch time or your completion time, so to speak. So I think that plays into it.
And she doesn't work for TikTok, but how long has your TikTok been up?
Maybe a month.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. I posted, I didn't really use it. I made like 3 posts and kind of forgot about it. And then when I got the new piglet, I was obsessed with videoing her, and I started using it more. And the second video I put of her went viral, and that was kind of my first real realization that this is an actual platform that could be used like seriously for networking and things like that, because the reach is just so much bigger, in my opinion, on TikTok than it ever has been for me on Instagram. Like people would come on my videos and comment For You page, and it took me a while to realize that means that they found me on their For You page, so that I showed up on basically their homepage. And I thought that was really cool, because I've never shown up on an Instagram homepage or anything like that. And I think they tend to, I think the algorithm has been tweaked to where it's more regional. So they'll the small batch that they'll put your videos out to is people kind of like in your area that they think that will be interested in it, and then it just kind of goes from there. So I even had my neighbors comment on a video. They were like, they saw their farm in my video. And they were like, this showed up on my For You page. Are you in such and such city? And I'm like, yeah. And that was my neighbors. So
welcome to the neighborhood.
I was just kind of panning around on my farm, and they recognized, they're like, oh, that's our neighbor. So it's just wild it's just wild.
So you've had Piggy for?
I've had her, this is the 2nd week that I've had her, so I've only had her about a week and a half.
So TikTok's been up for 14 days.
Yeah.
And you have how many followers?
I'm at 35 or 36,000 right now.
And your largest viewed video?
It's almost 600K now.
So you see how she knows all that information too? That's key in starting any social media platform, is to know your data.
Yeah.
And kind of know, Kylie's living her best life over here. You want to show that?
I love it.
She's on my lap.
She will do that as long as you will pet and feed her.
Yeah. She looks so happy.
She's a very happy girl.
Maggie and Kylie are living their best lives right now. So.
But I do have a question.
Yes.
So I know that you said like people love animals, and if they see an animal with funny music, like they'll watch it. Do you always try and use like a trending song, or do you try to do more towards original? Because trending usually gets a lot of attention.
That's a really good question. I've kind of experimented with that, and I definitely get more views when I use a trending song, but that doesn't always equate to more engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So just because 200,000 people see my video, I might only have like 1,000 likes, and that's really not a very good ratio. So I think for me, at least, whenever the music really fits what I'm shooting, that'll retain viewers, and people tend to enjoy that a little bit more. But if you're just solely trying to get your account out in front of eyes, I would definitely go to that little trending tab on TikTok. It's like a little flame icon, and it'll let you find all the songs that are currently trending at that moment. And that's probably a good way to start out, by using some of those songs, as people will just go through and watch videos of that song, and you'll get eyes on your
Relaunched
content.
with a dance.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because the dances go viral. Like finding a viral trend and then hopping on it is a really good way too to get your brand out there and get your content seen.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do more of that.
Dancing?
I know I don't do dancing, but I need to find more trends. Maybe I could teach the animals to dance. Maybe we'll do that. Have like the pig do the renegade.
Running Man.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Kylie?
One was posting times. Do you find like any certain time gets more engagement than like another?
I do, and weirdly enough, it's really late at night on the weekends, and I don't know if that's because
Because we're awake and
people are coming in from whatever they've done on the weekend. They're in bed and they're doing probably what I do before they go to sleep, and they're scrolling through content. And I tend to get a lot more engagement between like 10 and midnight. On Friday and Saturday nights, I've noticed that I get like a huge spike.
That's what we're doing with our Friday and Saturday nights, America.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently that's what we're all doing. We're all just sitting in bed watching videos. And yeah, I'm no different. I do the same thing. So that made sense to me.
3 suggestions to people when going into this platform. What are things you should look at before maybe creating content?
I think one thing is to try to find like a niche initially, like try to find like exactly what it is that you're wanting to put out. I wouldn't necessarily recommend like your first 5 videos being 5 totally different things. I wouldn't do like animals on one and a cooking video on another and then like a vlog on another, because my understanding is that TikTok you don't ever see this information, but TikTok kind of gives you a grade on your content, and if you're constantly changing up like your subject matter, the grade resets. Again, I don't work for TikTok, it's just what I heard, but it does make sense. And I've kind of heard
Because our
that
other
happens on
platforms are like that.
Yeah.
You are graded, and
Yes.
if you're constantly getting unlikes, which you can look into on those platforms, I'm sure it's coming for this one if it already hasn't.
Yeah.
You pay attention to those unlikes so you know what to stop sharing, because people are reporting it as spam or whatever they want to report it as.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so pick like a niche, and then once you have like a nice solid base of followers, then branch out and do other things. Like I put a few little vlog type videos on my account, and since my other videos have done so well, those also are doing fine. But I think if I would have started doing that in the very beginning, I think I would have gotten like 3 views.
Right.
But it really depends on what you're using the platform for. If you're just using it to have fun, put whatever you want. If you're just using it as self-expression, put whatever you want. Don't worry about the numbers. But if you're a business owner, or you're work for a charity and you're wanting to get your brand out there, then it is probably better to kind of narrow your focus in the beginning, just to kind of get that one or two things to get that base audience really interested in what you're creating.
Okay.
And if you do like I've found that if I do like a multiple part post, like I'll do like a morning routine where I'm feeding my animals.
I was going to say, does routine matter?
Yeah.
And people can then tune into what that is.
Yeah, and if they see like, oh, this is part 1 of 3, then they'll go to your account and want to watch the other parts to that if they liked the first video. So I've found that has helped. But these are all things that I kind of found out accidentally.
That's okay.
I know that's a good way to learn.
Any other accidental tips you can think of?
Don't let internet hate get to you.
There you go, girl.
Everyone gets
Bailey
it.
learned that yesterday.
Yeah, I got my first hater.
People are mean. They get behind that screen. Like the vast majority of the people that I've interacted with have been amazing, just wonderful people. But you have some bullies and you have some just really unhappy people out there, and they get behind the security of a screen and a keyboard, and they think they can just say whatever they want. I have people that are like, oh, I want to eat your pig, and just idiotic things like that. And you just kind of have to roll.
She's really small, so.
She's very small.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I'm like, in the end, even a hate comment is engagement, so even the haters are helping you, whether they know it or not.
Exactly.
So just kind of try to look at it.
Famous.
They do, yeah. Or you can always just block them. I do
That's
that
true too.
Yeah.
That's true too.
Yeah.
We try to respond to everybody. We had one
Yeah.
yesterday. We'll share our experience.
Yeah. And like, if they're polite.
We put
I
on
don't
offense
mind.
to the public, people. People get real bold. I mean, last year, a couple years ago, Fall Festival, we added pony rides, and you would have thought I killed someone's child by adding pony rides to Fall Festival.
Everyone becomes a veterinarian on the internet. It's just a lot of internet Karens out there, but you just gotta let it go. You gotta let it go.
Okay. And poor Bailey, she's like just a few days in with
Yeah.
us. She just was sharing COVID 19 news
Yeah.
and was like, the safe way to go about it. Well, somebody didn't agree with that and was like, the safe way.
Yeah.
And took on, but everybody's allowed to have their opinion, and we are always going to answer with kindness no matter how you treat us.
For sure.
I think that's wonderful. You're a much more patient woman than I am. I try and I fail.
That's my PC answer for the day.
It's just part of social media. It just is. You put yourself out there, you're going to be criticized, but it doesn't happen as much as you would think.
So, I know you think it was like a fluke, but like you obviously had clear thought going into a couple of the things you do. Any other clear thought paths that you think would help other business owners or charities take this step to do this? Because TikTok for people is like, you have to commit to being in front of the screen, and a lot of people don't like that. There's other ways you can, of course, showcase your brand with DIYs. I've seen people actually not in screen people, just so you know, and like just doing their hands.
And those do well too. You don't have to necessarily put your face in front of the screen if you're not comfortable doing that.
Right.
I think too, not to get discouraged in the beginning, because you're not necessarily going to make one TikTok post and it's going to get 1 million views. So I think,
hoped it would, just so everybody would
it could. It could. I mean, that if it's going to happen anywhere, it's going to happen on that platform. But you just don't get discouraged. Just try to post multiple times a day if you want to, just to throw everything at the wall, see what sticks. And if you start to get a lot of engagement, then okay, people like that content, they're engaged in that content. Maybe I need to tweak that and focus my brand more around that sort of thing. At least until you get like a nice solid base of followers or support.
Yeah. Again, create those 2 points. think about what you're posting by falling into a niche. It sounds, or niche.
Yeah, well, however you pronounce it. I'm from Kentucky.
It sounds
I make up words.
I have bad, words anyways. And the third was, what was the third one we talked about?
Don't get discouraged, and just keep
Enjoy
at
the
it.
haters and keep
Enjoy
at
it.
it.
Yeah.
There is a TikTok challenge that Later is putting out there, and I believe they are actually doing it for some kind of, and we don't endorse Later, we just use them for our scheduling, just so we're not an influencer yet. But they have great information on TikTok right now, and they're encouraging people to go there, which means their platform will probably allow you to auto-schedule to it soon too,
I
which
think
would be cool.
They're trying to, I think, move the platform to be more advertiser friendly. So I've heard that they're changing the algorithm a little bit more because I think they're wanting to start to make it possible for creators to monetize their content, similar to how YouTube uses AdSense. TikTok doesn't have anything like that in place right now, but I've seen changes to the algorithm happen that indicates to me, at least, that they're trying to find a way to monetize this platform and make creators, be able to, and advertisers be able to have space there. So I think it's just going to get bigger. For sure.
Are you reading the fake plant?
That's a fake plant.
That's fake,
No
honey.
nutritional value.
Yeah,
Come here.
it's okay though.
Come
I
here.
understand. I'm hungry all the time too.
There you go. Oh.
So, give us your handles. How can we support you? Tell us all about that. One more time.
No problem. Thank you. My handle on Instagram and TikTok is at Isle of Misfits, and it's isle.of.misfits. Same handle on both of those. And in our Instagram, there is a link to our Amazon wish list with our most commonly used items. Like I go through baby wipes and pee pads and food like you wouldn't believe. So that's actually probably the sorry, the pig's getting in someone's purse.
She was going home with Kylie, which they were both still living their best life in that moment.
It's like having a toddler all the time. But the Amazon wishlist probably is the best way to support us right now. We do have a PayPal, but if people choose to donate there, because I am not a 501c3 yet at this time, and it won't be tax deductible for anybody donating. So you're absolutely welcome to. I will not say no to that, but I want to be totally clear about that we're not a 501c3 at this time. We're moving towards that. So Amazon's probably the easiest way to support us right now.
Well, we will make sure to put that on the story and on the cheat post, little sneak peek post too. And this has been fantastic. We enjoyed having you.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun. I know the pig enjoyed it.
I didn't really tell her we were doing all this. I'm like, we're just gonna record this and we're gonna highlight you. And she's like, oh, I'm a sweaty mess. Great. And just
it's like any other day. I always look like this.
just rolled with it. So we appreciate it. And
Thank
we
you.
will share it all out to you guys. If you have any questions for Paige, just comment and we will connect you through social media. We won't give her information, but we will connect you on social media. And if you want more information on TikTok, follow Gary V. And if you don't follow Gary,
I
we
did
talked
because
about
of
this.
you, and he's a wealth of
Oh
information.
my gosh.
Truly.
So the man is probably like the secret investor in TikTok. I still say that. That's
He's got a lot of
hashtag conspiracy theory. But he's got so much info on TikTok, so follow him and that'll help you too.
Yep.
Bye guys!